Hello, Rowan Mithril here once again, and it's time for the last of the analytical Silent Hill 4 vids. Once more, my thanks to John Kossuth for the fan art. And so let's get into this. This time we'll be discussing the history of Silent Hill 4, how it came to be what it is today. So let's get right to it. In early production, this game was not listed under the Silent Hill label. The original title of this game was simply Room 302. There are conflicting reports, though, on what it was meant to be. Some claim it was meant to be a brand new, original survival horror game, the start of a new franchise, perhaps. Others say it was always meant to be an offshoot Gaiden game to the main Silent Hill series. Either way, it's fairly clear that Room 302 was designed to be something different. However, it was never to get such a chance. Halfway through production, Konami panicked. They weren't sure how the gaming public would react to Room 302. They, after all, had their major horror brand, Silent Hill, which had a dedicated following. Would gamers follow them into unknown territory, or would they expect something more familiar? Faced with this choice, Konami decided to stick the Silent Hill label on the game, dubbing it Silent Hill 4 The Room. They felt this would draw in existing fans of the series, rather than gambling on the unknown of something new. With this new direction set for the game, Konami threw the partially completed project at Team Silent. It hadn't been theirs to begin with, but now it was their problem. To make matters worse, Konami refused to reset the release schedule. Thus, Team Silent was forced to rush with a game that hadn't even been of their own design to begin with. They had to figure out what the previous team had done and try to bend it to their will as much as they could, plus quickly dash out a new Silent Hill story. This comes across in not only the strange plot points here and there, but also the fact that if you dig into the code, it's evident that they were working on a UFO ending, but ran out of time. It's a bit sad that Team Silent went out with this title. This was the last game worked on by the original Team Silent, so it's too bad they went out on a rush job. And thus the game was released. Konami got what they were after, fans of the series eager to experience more of Silent Hill. However, using this sort of strategy is a double-edged sword. Sure, you'll bring in an existing fan base, but those fans are going to expect something that your game just may not deliver. It's not a unique thing to Silent Hill 4 either. It still happens even today. Perhaps the most recent example I can think of would be Kirby's Epic Yarn. Originally, this game wasn't supposed to be a Kirby game at all. The second-player character, Prince Fluff, was originally supposed to be the protagonist, and Kirby wasn't supposed to be involved at all. However, midway through production, they decided to slap Kirby on it. The result, sure, it's a charming game, but it's really not a Kirby game no matter how much they tried to make it one, and fans of Kirby noticed this. It's a thing that I feel like the major gaming companies out there, they need to do more often. They need to take a chance on new things. Sure, gamers will always be happy to see new, true sequels to games they love. People will always be happy to see a new Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Silent Hill, whatever else, as long as it's really a true fit to the series. And people would really love to see a new classic Mega Man, hint hint Capcom. If it's just a minor gimmick sort of thing that fits a series, sure, throw it in. Like the gravity shenanigans in Mario Galaxy, that's fine. It still really feels like a good, solid 3D Mario platformer. But when you have an entirely new system, don't be afraid to let a new hero or series shine. Can you imagine, for example, if, in designing Pikmin, Nintendo suddenly tried to force it to be a new Mario game? I'm left to wonder what Room 302 would have been like had they allowed it to be whatever it was originally intended to be. The other major thing that could have helped would have been if Konami was so desperate to make it a real Silent Hill game, they should have given Team Silent a fresh release schedule. Admit they made a mistake in judgment and let Team Silent do what they really needed to do. I'm sure if they'd been allowed to do so, if they'd just been given more time, they could have gotten something far better together. It's basically where I'm left with what was produced in the end. It has interesting ideas, but it could have been done a lot better. With that, we've come to the end of the analytical portion of things. I'm working on getting back through the second half of the game. Hopefully I'll have some new things to show as well as the last two endings, and hopefully it won't take too long to get everything else I need to show. So, yes, there will likely be a pause before I can get to the rest of things, but I'm definitely working on it. So, with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, fare thee well.